You lot, raise your glasses. This one's for Paul, Phil, and the Paranormal Soul Brother! Paul's got a torch and a tradies belt. Swears that he felt a cold hand on his bum. Phil's in the kitchen with a GoPro helmet, shouting, "Come at me, spirit, you cowardly scum!" Soul Brothers burning the bargain bin sage, reading vibes like a busted old gauge. Ghost wankers, ghost wankers, three brave idiots and a busted van. Ghost wankers, chasing bad vibes round the caravan. If your house feels weird and your dog won't stay, they'll rock up drunk and scare it away. Ghost wankers, best worst hunters in the whole damn land. Oh, yeah.
Tonight we got a wonderful guest. She's the owner, producer, and host of Coven of Curiosities podcast, LLC, and short stories. And her name is Cyndi Sapp. I said that correctly, right?
Yes, you did. AKA Giggles.
Cyndi, I noticed also too, we have a lot of the same friends. Tim Short. Yeah, Tim Short. You'll find some of my stories in his books. Janet Ramsey.
I adore her so much. I'm so close to her. I've worked with her. I'm in her magazine. I'm helping her with her magazine. So yeah, I adore her so much.
Yeah, and she's been publishing my articles in her magazine, which is Ghost Buzz magazine.
Magazine, yes.
Yeah. Check out the latest issue. Sage Gatto, we've had him as a guest on this show. Amber Simona, she was one of my investigators for HPI, Halo Paranormal Investigations.
Okay.
Isaac Jerome Stewart, Dirty Dog, we've had him on this show too. So it's really amazing how many friends we have there. You're also you have a clothing design line.
Yes.
You're the founder of Federal Paranormal Investigators.
Correct.
And you said you have all the abilities. You have the 3 C's. So you're talking
all the C's.
There's
multiple C's. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Clairvoyance, clear seeing, clairaudience, clear hearing, clear sentience, clear feeling, and probably clear knowing, maybe.
Yeah. No, it's it can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. But, yeah.
Okay, so how did you get involved in the paranormal? I mean,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, let's
well,
go.
It started when I was 8 years old. To be honest, my first experience was when I was 8. I lost a great grandfather, and it was my first time experiencing death in the family, or death period. And my grandfather ended up a couple months later, showed up at the house that I was living in Poway, California, and I saw him clear as day. And I even got up because I could hear he liked to play the ukulele. And whenever we got together as a family, he would play the ukulele. And he always had a particular area in the house where he would sit by the fireplace. And there's like this little brick bench area where you can like stack the wood or people could sit. And so I woke up to hearing ukulele music. And I got up and I thought, Grandpa's here. I got all excited. And I went out to the living room and there he was playing. And I sat on the couch and I just watched him play. Didn't get scared, nothing, fell asleep. My mom's looking for me to wake me up for school. I'm not in my bedroom. She goes out to the living room. She's like, what are you doing out here? I said, Grandpa's here. She goes, no, honey, Grandpa's not here. And I said, yes, I was so adamant, but I just, she was just like, it's just, he's passed, he's not here. And I'm like, no, he's here. Like, I was very adamant. I was mad that she wasn't listening to me. So that's my first experience. And then as I've gotten older and, because I'm 54 now, so throughout my life, I've had encounters or, spirits coming and talking to me and visiting me and asking me to give messages to other family members or whatever the case might be. So, but yeah, that's when it all started.
Wow. So it all started when you were 8 years old, and
Yes.
then at some point in time, you and your husband um, started the Federal Paranormal Investigators. What are some
Yes.
of the cases that you've had?
So our first one was at Back Bay, which is here in California. That's when we actually, because I've always loved the paranormal. My mom and I, we would, always watch the paranormal shows, and with me experiencing the things that I was experiencing, I decided to finally start with my dreams, and that's starting a paranormal team. And so Marcus and I when we were at Back Bay and we were investigating, and I was like, babe, this is it, we got to start our own team. I'm ready for this. And so I invested some money into some equipment, and he came up with the name. And so I'm the lead investigator, the one with abilities, and then he is another lead investigator, and he's handles all the equipment, manages all the equipment, makes sure that we have batteries and all that kind of stuff, and make sure everything's charged. But we work really well together. We both are enjoying. He is still kind of a skeptic, so it's kind of nice having him a little bit of a skeptic. We do debunk. We try very hard. We did capture something at a military. It's an abandoned military base up in Victorville, California. Um, so that was quite interesting. But we tried to debunk that as debunk, and we couldn't. We tried so many different ways to debunk it, and we just couldn't. But we do that every time. We always, is that really a sound, or is that really footsteps, or is that someone in the hotel room next door to us? Like, we always try to make sure because not everything's ghostly or spiritual, So, but yeah, so that's kind of when it started. That was back last year. So we've been at it ever since.
How many people are on your team?
Right now, it's just myself and Marcus. I had two others, but their schedules have been very chaotic and very busy. So I decided to just go ahead and because I don't want to not investigate because of someone else's schedule. If I want to go investigate, I'm going to go investigate. So that's just me though. I have the time to go investigate, and there's so many areas here in California and everything. And I actually just came back from Kentucky. We did an investigation at the cabin that we were in, and we picked up, some spirits that came through. And then we went to the land between the lakes and actually picked up some paranormal. So that was quite the experience out there.
Did you go to Monk's Mound in
No,
Kentucky?
we were on, so the particular area that we were, I can't say the location. I had to sign an NDA, but we were actually on a private investigation that is concurring, right, or still concurring right now. So I can't say the location. I can just say that we experienced paranormal. That's it. I can't go into detail why we were there, the purpose of the investigation, or anything like that. So, but it went,
And yeah,
go ahead.
there's a lot. There's a lot of times where I've had private investigations, and we just say confidential. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, yeah. But okay, like I was stationed at Fort Knox, Kentucky, for a while.
Okay.
Fort Knox is very, very haunted.
Believe
Monk's Mound is very
it. Okay.
haunted. Yeah,
Okay.
so there's a lot of haunted places in Louisville and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very
No,
familiar with the place.
nice. Yeah, I just want to travel and as much as I can, before I get too much older. So I just want to investigate and I'm trying to see my first Bigfoot or dog man. Like I'm into the cryptid as well. So, and I've got a team on the Coven. It's not just me on my podcast. I've collaborated with other podcasters or other field researchers out there, and we all work together very well. We make a great team. We actually met in Kentucky to go to the Bigfoot festival that was there, and then we all jumped in the truck and went to the land between the lakes. So that was fun.
Oh, that's cool. So,
Yeah.
have you actually done Bigfoot hunts?
No, that's the one that I went to in Land Between the Lakes was the first time I was hoping to experience a cryptid. We did see eye shine, but you can't always say it's cryptid because it's there. I mean, there you can look for the certain colors of the eyes and how far apart they are. But until we can go through the footage that I got and go through the other person's footage, my teammate. We're not quite sure yet. We just know we saw eye shine and we definitely felt like we were being watched for sure. You had that, it's that, when you have that feeling someone's watching you. So we definitely had that feeling. So
Yeah,
yeah.
we've done a few Bigfoot hunts over in Mount Shasta, and one of them was very successful. Steve Ward here on the panel, he's
Uh-huh.
involved with Mothman. So
Okay.
he's over in West Virginia. So if you ever want to do Mothman, that's the guy to talk to right there.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
stop by the Mothman Museum, and there's a lot to
Yeah.
see right in town.
I heard, and actually, one of my new co-hosts, she's from Australia. Well, she lives in Australia, but she totally loves the Mothman. Like she's made merchandise and all kinds of stuff, and she's always wanting to go. What's the state? Sorry, I'm having a brain fart.
Yeah, she'll have to
Um,
come to the festival someday.
yes, yeah. We're talking about going to New Orleans and some other places together. So hopefully. But
Every
yeah, she
third
loves them.
weekend in September.
Okay. All right. Awesome. I'll have to let her know.
Have you been overseas?
I have. I've been over to London. I've been over to Wales. I did a little bit of traveling over there. It was only for 6 days, but I definitely enjoyed the time that I had over there.
When I went to London, I checked out Westminster Abbey. Did you check out the Jack the Ripper candlelight tour?
No, unfortunately, we did not. I was with a friend of mine and we went to a military museum there. And then we went through, it was a museum, kind of an interactive like museum for how back in the day, how they used to torture people and the devices and things that they used. And so that was quite interesting, I must
Did
say.
you, did you go to the Tower of London?
No, no.
Oh my God. That place, oh, as soon as you walk in, you can
Yeah,
feel there's this feeling of dread.
really.
Oh, yeah, murder,
Oh,
rape,
yeah,
torture, you name it, it happened
yeah.
there. Yeah.
I was there, but I don't pick up any of that. But I was dazzled by the crown jewels. And it was funny because they made you walk in a circle. You couldn't stay still. You had to keep moving. But boy,
That's
man, those things
interesting.
were dazzling.
Oh my God.
No, I didn't feel anything.
Yeah,
Boy, I
yeah,
would love to live in England. I mean, there's just so many
yes,
haunted stories. There are so many cryptids, the black
yeah.
panthers, the black dogs. I mean, just everything's over there. It's just
Yeah.
amazing. And what is this clothing design line that you have?
So I'm very creative. I'm very artsy. My brain is always spinning. I've got a hamster wheel in there, trying to figure out how to, make my podcast better, how to advertise better. And then I decided um, that, what, I was like, I've always wanted to have like a clothing line, and but styled for people that like the scary, the witchiness, because I am a practicing witch. But I just wanted to have a gothic style. I've always wanted something like that, and see if people would buy it. And I've showed people my designs, and they're like, well, let me know when it's available because I'm buying it. So I'm like, okay, I guess this is it. So now I just need to hit that publish button so it goes on Amazon and people can start buying. So I've been a little hesitant because I'm like, are people gonna like this? But I've gotten compliments. So I'm like, okay, I just need to do this. I just need to do it. It's a little scary, So I don't want it to go under.
Phil, Phil and Zandine, do you guys have any ideas for Cyndi here about clothes and stuff like that?
Phil does. I mean, they just raised. I tell everybody they just raised Chat GPT to 5.5. Have you consulted that on the strategy?
No, not
Because
yet.
like the reason why I said that is because I mean, everybody knows their own plan. So like if you, it could be any large language model. It doesn't have to be ChatGPT. I just said that because they just added a 5.5, which gave it like a bunch of extra knowledge and made it faster. But um,
Nice.
if you said to it, you know what your brand is, you know who the people are that you want to reach, you know the pace, you know the overhead, you know these details. You can feed into it. You can say, "Hey, I want you to automate, make me a chart that makes me the best viral plan to put this product out." We had a gentleman, Paul's friend, that was on here, who
Yeah,
maybe a year ago, he was cooking brisket and cooking barbecue for everybody, and he
yeah,
wanted to expand his brand. He said, "Well, how can I, how can I make this get over?" And
yeah,
so he consulted ChatGPT. I think when it was like 5.3 or whatever, and it was I know it, among other things. It told him, get your name. So he called himself King Brisket, and it gave him ideas about the licensing, which fees you could avoid. But he was cooking for people, volunteering, got his own truck, and fed people
wow,
from other people. But by the year was over, he was feeding from his own pocket. But it just had steps, and I've tried it on different
yeah,
things. But also, I was going to say, um, as far as you saying that you really want to do it and you're a creative person, I know how that is if you have stuff that you want, and we get encouraged when people like our things. But I want to tell you, we also had another guest on here, Eddie Lingo. We had a movie maker guy that worked on reality series, and he said
yeah,
something really important. I guess he's like 70 something years old, and he said, "Look, just go." His first movie, his first things, everything he did, like his production, he didn't let it stop him. At some point, you have to just go,
yeah,
and you already have a chance,
yeah,
a product that people can build and learn, and you can learn mistakes from. So you can just go. I just want to tell you
yeah.
that you probably, I realize how it is. You should just go and do it.
Thank you. I think that's what I need to do. I just need to put that fire under my booty and just
Yeah,
take off.
yeah, it's already there. I mean, you got the product. I mean,
Yeah,
everybody's not gonna agree with it, but it's gonna be the people you want. There's ways to put that yourself in. They got like
yeah,
campaigns and ads where you can put your product in front of millions of people who are liking what you like.
yeah, yeah. No, definitely. And I agree with you. And then I have a lot of things in the pipeline actually besides my podcast. So I do have my short stories. I do love to
Nice.
write short stories. They're very mystical and, very witchy and stuff, but there's always a very good ending to my stories. The storyline kind of always
I
starts
like
out a
that.
bit rough and edgy and scary and very like, oh my gosh, where's this going? And then at the end, it's beautiful and it turns out great and everybody's happy.
I like that.
So, but now I'm taking those short stories. I hired an editor. She has edited my first 10 stories.
Nice.
I've got to write 10,000 more words. So I'll be writing some more short stories, have her edit it. So I'm taking these short stories and I'm going to turn it into a book, paperback.
Nice.
Plus, I'm taking my short stories and I'm going to make a comic, a Coven of Curiosity comic book. And I'm going to have my gal here, Raven, that's her name. That's me, kind of, in a way. She's gonna be kind of like remember Elvira? Remember
Right,
that
right.
show?
Okay. Okay.
She's going to be kind of like an Elvira for my short stories. She'll be the main host, telling the creepy story, and then I'll have
Okay.
characters. I've got my co-host, my host. They're like, "Can we be in your comic book?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, you can!" Like,
Wow.
absolutely. I'll turn you into a character.
You
So
know,
Somebody's
yeah,
an
something.
expert on that.
a few
And
things. Yeah.
Elvira had her own comic book, which was published by Claypool Comics, and you would find every one of her comic books. If you look on the letter page, you'll find my name in there, because yes, I was Elvira's number one fan. I used to read all her comic books, and she published all my letters. Yes,
Oh wow, that's
yeah,
awesome. That's so
yes.
cool. Yeah, I missed that show. She was awesome. I loved it.
Oh yeah, and you know it's so funny that you're talking about a comic book, because some of our guests are comic book people. Yeah.
Nice.
So if I had
Awesome.
a, yeah, they could be
Billy,
helping
you're
you.
so quiet. You're making me nervous.
I have that effect on people.
I'm
Uh,
teasing. It's a joke.
I'm just taking it all in.
Gotcha.
And Phil actually published and has like some good comic books and illustration himself. I mean, he knows a lot about
Really?
that. Yes, ink is really good.
So thank you,
Oh,
Cindy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's,
he has a lot. He has a lot. Both of those guys are on the comic books and the short
my
really?
stories.
advice.
I mean,
My advice
yeah,
isn't going to be any different than what these guys are going to tell you. Just follow your passion and do it. What drives you.
Yeah.
You know, the energy. What you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. You know, it
Yep.
just
I totally agree.
do it.
Yeah.
Cindy, that's my character right there. I have a comic book with that character.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the
Oh.
legendary Dark Silhouette. I published
Ooh,
one comic book,
nice.
So
and then
Cindy,
that,
Yeah.
Have you ever encountered anything that you thought was inhuman? And then also want to ask you, when it comes to witchcraft, what's something you advise people to never mess with?
A lot of things.
The Book
Um,
of the Dead.
Now, I'm not into the black magic. I'm not into anything negative. I'm so much, my podcast is a judgment-free zone. I do not judge anyone. It's not my place to judge anyone. Whether your beliefs are different than mine, that's okay. But I don't believe in, because I feel karma will come back on people. You do people wrong, karma's going to come and get you. I don't need to do a spell to put on you to make bad things. I'm not like that. I'm more of the kind of like you would call, I guess, a white witch. I don't like to give myself a title because I dabble in healing and protection and anything. I like to do things in the kitchen, like a kitchen witch would. I am also a wood witch. I'm also the what do they call it? Sorry, it's right there on the tip of my tongue. Astrology witch. So I've got my hands in a little bit of everything because I find it all fascinating, just not the whole black magic stuff. I'm not into that. I don't want to get into that because that can actually come back on me three times three, and I'm good. I don't need nothing evil on me.
So
Um,
that's what you tell us to stay away from, that the black magic kind of. That
yeah,
would be
stay away from it. Stay away from Ouija boards. I have two Ouija boards, but I never use them. They're only for decoration only. I've used a Ouija board in my past, and after my experience, I'm good. I don't need to do that ever again. And especially with my abilities now, and they're developing and still growing, I'm not as strong as I would like to be. But I'm definitely working on it. And it's hard enough as it is with the things that come through and that I see. It's sometimes I'm trying to control the emotions part of it when I see things that are very disturbing. So,
You
yeah,
said very disturbing. What do you know? that 10 years ago would completely have drove you insane that you know now about witchcraft?
What would 10 years ago, what would I,
Yeah, like
what, say that
something
again?
that happened to you where you say, "Wow, I would have never imagined in my pursuit of witchcraft or the paranormal that this would have happened to me, or I would have experienced this."
Actually, I've always been into this. I always felt like I was the black sheep of the family.
Hmm.
I was raised Christian for some time. I was even raised Jehovah Witness for some time when I was a teenager. But nothing made sense to me. It just didn't connect. I always found myself going into the direction of practicing witchcraft and being about Mother Earth and Hakata. And so that's just, I've always been drawn to that. More the gothic and the mystical creatures and fairies and all that kind of stuff. Like that fascinates me. And then the cryptids, that kind of stuff. So I never really, you know, I've always been intrigued and had an interest, and it's pulled me. It's really pulled me. And now that I'm old enough and I'm like, you know what? I don't care if people don't want to believe me. That's fine. I'm 54 years old. I don't care.
I
I'm
have a
going to
question
do
for
what
Cyndi.
makes me happy.
Cyndi, when you are contacted or contact uh, spirits, discarnate spirits, uh, do you ever run into anything that you would consider a deceiver or a trickster? And if that happens, are you able to discern what's legitimate and what's not?
So as I'm building my abilities, I have not run into that yet. What's weird is that I seem to get visions and things coming through that are very negative. I don't understand why I'm not really seeing a lot of positive. And my friends and I, we were talking about it, and I said, I don't understand this because I'm seeing such really horrific things that have really upset me. Um, and I'll start crying, and I'm trying to learn to control that side when I'm seeing what's happening.
Is it
In
like
the
remote viewing, do you think?
I guess you can say that, yeah. I'm like visually seeing. It's like the spirit is wanting me to see what happened. Here, I'll give you a perfect example. So we have a triangle here in California, and it's called the Devil's Triangle, excuse me, Royal Triangle. And you go from Cabo State to Devil's Gate to the Suicide Bridge, and it's here in California. And so, mind you, I knew nothing about Cabo State. I don't like to know anything when I go to a location. I don't want to know the history. I don't want to know what has happened there, who's passed away. I don't want to know anything. I want to go in and just see what I'm picking up and what I'm connecting with. Um, when I went to the Devil's Gate, I had no idea what that meant, what kind of place it would be. We pull up, I'm sitting in the truck as the passenger, and I told Marcus, I said, I don't want to get out. This is not a good place. Like it was just not all this energy just started coming over me, and I'm like, oh no, 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 no. He's like, you got to work on it, Cyndi, you got to control it. And I'm like, okay, fine. And I'm just like, okay, I can do this, I can do this, you've got it, and I said my protection spell, and I always wear my protection bracelets and stuff. And we went down this neighborhood, down a hill, and it turns into a little bridge. And I guess it's an old bridge that used to be used way back before the main highway got built. So, needless to say, we get onto the bridge, and I was like, something's here, something's watching me. And it's weird. I start feeling things, and I noticed that my hands, I start doing this weird twitch thing. I look like I'm having a spasm or something. It's strange. But then when I start really feeling things, I kind of like, no, 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 it's over here, it's over here. And then visions start coming through. It's a girl, it's a female. She's got curly brown hair. Like I'll start calling out. I just start popping out with what I'm seeing. And sometimes when I see something, nope, it's negative, it's negative, negative. And it's like slowly coming through, and I'm like, it's a shadow, it's crawling on the ground. I'll start kind of just sprouting out, like I said, what I'm seeing and what's coming through. But anyway, needless to say, I was on the bridge, and the friends that we were with, Nick, he's like, hey, Cyndi, come over on this side of the bridge and tell me what you're picking up. And I said, okay, go over to that side of the bridge. I close my eyes and I'm opening myself up and I'm allowing the spirits to use my energy to speak to me. And I get a woman. And I see this woman on a like block, and she's laying down, and I see these men surrounding her in capes. They're hooded, and they're doing a ritual around her. Then all of a sudden I'm seeing this dagger, and I see them cutting her, and she's screaming, she's flaring her arms around and this and that. And like then they are doing other things to her that are not appropriate. And that's when I lost it. I just I started crying. I couldn't help it from what I was seeing.
So something
And
that happened in the past, do you think, or were you seeing into
yes,
another realm? Okay.
no, it was a different as in the past. It was definitely something that has happened there from my understanding that because like I said, when I go to a location, I don't want to know anything. And I was told that rituals do happen there, and it has something to do with the Scientology
Oh,
followers.
so it was more recent than something ancient, do you
That
think?
it wasn't ancient. It was not ancient, but it happened in the past.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it was not ancient. No. And then I got my emotions under control, and because that's what I'm working on is to control the emotions. Because what I was seeing was not pleasant. And so Nick's like, okay, do you want to come on this side of the bridge and tell me what you feel? And I said, okay. I go to the other side of the bridge. I look down. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like, this is where it happened. This is what I was seeing. And sure enough, that's where it actually happened. But I didn't know anything, what was on the other side of the bridge. He did that to see what I was picking up would match the history of it. And it did. So, but yeah, that wasn't pleasant.
Uh,
Not the vision I was.
It
I
doesn't
guess I'm
sound.
glad I'm not sensitive.
I'm,
As
I'm
I'm gonna go ahead.
I'm sensitive when people call me names.
I'm not so much
I
anymore.
I didn't think you heard, I don't think you were on when were calling you names, Paul.
Oh my God, that's a story there, Cyndi. Wow.
Yeah, it was very
That's
hard.
yeah,
Well,
that's
very scary that it was
very
more
scary.
in recent times than something 100 years in
Yeah,
the past.
yeah. No, and that's the thing is that it definitely was not a historical event. It was actually more, I mean, happened in the past, but a current past, I guess you could say, or
And,
whatever.
Right.
and you
But yeah,
think it was the Church of Scientology?
and yes, oh yeah,
Uh, I mean
oh
that
yeah,
Ron L. Hubbard. That's a tricky guy. You know.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's funny that you talk about that because my father was a tax investigator, and
yeah.
he actually investigated the Church of Scientology for their state taxes, and he said they're a bunch of weirdos.
Who was the
And
rocket guy that he was
that's Jack
associated with?
Parsons. That's who
Yeah,
Ron
that's
L.
it,
Hubbard
Jack
got all this
Parsons,
from
right?
Jack Parsons.
And
Yeah,
and,
sex,
and
sex,
he
magic
blew
rituals,
himself up.
and
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they were
yeah,
both a couple of weirdos, man.
Well,
yeah.
they actually they had quite a history because they won the business with about some boats or something, and Jack Parsons actually owed Ron L. Hubbard $7,000,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
they had a real that was like their biggest problem. But I mean, they were throwing the parties, Isaac Asimov, different people, and they were doing these sex magic rituals, and at the height of contact, the elite Collins elite took over their research, the government, and basically concluded, it was something to it, and they had to debate whether they wanted to go on with it or not because they were contacting dark entities supposedly.
Well,
But
supposedly, some people say that they opened a portal that
Yeah,
ushered
yeah,
in the UFO era. Now,
right,
I'm not
right.
quite
yeah,
sure I
but
believe that because
Right.
UFOs have been around a long before
A
these two.
long
yeah,
time.
Yeah.
yeah. And
But
George Van Tassel was on the other side. Because if you got Landers, you got the Integratron with George Van Tassel, and then 29 Palms. In that area, you had Jack Parsons, contacting the dark aliens, like not too far from, just like a triangle down there as well. Landers, 29 Palms, and Joshua Tree.
yeah, Van Tassel
Yes,
was contacting
I
all
heard
kinds
about
of
that
entities.
recently.
Yeah,
Was
And
I
there was,
stayed at Van Tassel's house. Actually, I actually
oh,
stayed in the house, and I got to see like his
Giant
backyard.
Rock?
It's
Yes.
yeah, Giant Rock. Well, that was the cave he was staying, but he also had a little house
Right.
too. Giant
Okay.
Rock, where they had the apple pie and the restaurant next to it. His wife would cook,
And
but
did the channeling and all that stuff. Yeah.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
Trevor James Constable that supposedly contacted the Sky Critters was in that same general area, and he
yeah,
learned
yeah.
how to channel from George Van Tassel, but he left it behind. I've got some great correspondence I got from the Gray
Wow,
Barker Museum between Trevor James Constable and Gray Barker when Barker was republishing one of his books.
wow.
Fascinating stuff.
Totally fascinating. But isn't it ironic, Steve, how like in that area you had Jack Parsons doing all the bad stuff, and then George Van Tassel's talking to basically the benevolent ones. It's just
Right.
yeah. But
Yeah,
everybody
it's
considered it dark magic. I mean, even though George Van Tassel said that he was talking to good aliens, they still consider that, people, oh, that's demon, it's demonic, it's this, that, whatever.
And then there was
But
that guy Ashtar that kept showing up everywhere, man. He couldn't
Ashtar
keep his mouth
Patel,
shut.
yes, Ashtar coming and doing transmissions and everything. All right.
Ashtar never talks to me, but that's fine with me.
Well, he did that
Hey,
with Britain. He
and
did,
what
he did
was
the
the
big, huh? I'm sorry.
Zandine? What was the alien entity that Ron L. Hubbard was consulting with? What was
I
his name?
don't even remember.
He had a
Yeah, I
huge,
know I've seen that.
huge head.
Do you mean
I don't
Aleister
even,
Crowley?
What's
And
that?
Aleister Crowley was contacting
Oh, that was
something named
yes,
named
Alistair Crowley.
right.
Lamb.
Yeah,
Wasn't
because
it
yeah, Jack
Lamb?
Parsons.
Uh,
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Alice,
yeah.
something like
Um,
Mhm.
I I remember him telling me about like the Church of Satan and the the all that stuff with Anton LaVey and that stuff. And he said to me, and I quote, he goes, it was exactly like those piece of shit beatnik fucks from the '50s that I remember. And I go, yeah. He goes, yeah, that was just an excuse for people to get together and fuck. He was a character, but
Sounds about right.
yeah, that was Joey. He was a character. God rest
so.
his
So
soul.
we should pick up for just a couple of minutes. We were talking about Aleister Crowley contacting, supposedly opening up portals and contacting. I think one of them was Awiss, Awiss, and one was Lamb, Lam.
Yeah,
And
that's the one I was thinking of.
one of them looked a lot like a gray with
Yeah,
skinny eyes.
yeah,
Right.
Lamb.
So that's weird stuff. I'm pretty sure Cyndi hasn't opened any portals to any grays, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Not.
I do have a question for you though.
Yeah.
You know how in pop culture and movies and folklore, witches are portrayed in a certain way, and usually very negative. I mean, they like to want to cook children in ovens and that kind of thing. What, what is? You're a real practicing witch. What are some of the obvious differences between the nonsense that comes out of pop culture and what a real witch does?
So, pop culture, the Hollywood version, like you said, they always make us witches look like we're evil and we're always doing black magic or always doing something against someone to put harm or, make them wreck or whatever the case might be. And there are plenty. I have sister witches that I'm very close to that we're nothing like that whatsoever. Like I said, I'm all about healing and protection and positivity, doing good things. And I have people reaching out to me, and I'll have long conversations with them on video chat through Messenger, and help them. And, because they feel like either they have an attachment. And so I sit and I talk to them and I ask my questions. Every case is different. This recently just started happening with me where people are finally reaching out to me because I make that clear in my podcast that if anyone wants to reach out, please do. I want everyone to feel comfortable that they can reach out to me because what I talk about with them stays with me. I don't talk about it with anyone else. But because that's their own personal, and if they want to come on to the podcast and talk about it, I'm all for it. I want to hear everybody's experiences, whether it be something that they feel is negative that they have attached, or they're seeing shadow figures, or they're experiencing things in their home and they don't know how to go about doing a cleansing, or getting help in some aspect. Obviously there's some things that I'm not that well experienced in that I can't help. I can direct you into a priest or a preacher if necessary, but unfortunately I can do so much. I have not run into, and hopefully never run into a demon or had an experience with a demon. I hope I never have one. But in the paranormal world, anything is possible. And so, and I take chances when I open myself up. I do. I'll say, you guys, any spirits here with me right now, you can use my body and my energy to speak through me. I know I'm putting myself at risk. I know that. But I do it because I'm hoping that I will be able to maybe help a good spirit go in a different direction, or if they feel they're stuck, I can help them get to a different realm. Or I don't, I'm not one to believe in heaven. I feel there's, here we have different realms that we go to. But that's my opinion.
Have you
So
ever had a
what do you
spirit
call?
follow you home? Sorry, Steve.
I'm
No, that's
sorry.
right.
Have you ever had a
Go
spirit
ahead,
follow
Tony.
you home from an investigation? You're so open. I'm just wondering if anything's attached to you before.
Almost. But I knew he was actually in the back of the truck sitting
Oh,
behind me. It was when we were at the military base. I could feel him, and I told Marcus, I said, we've got him in the truck. And I'll show you the picture that I have. Hopefully it will come through. Might have to take my background off, but this is what I captured. And I felt it before. I was feeling something very negative in the military base down in the emergency room section of the hospital that we were in. And I was like, there's something over there. There's something over there. It's negative. I feel it wants to attach to one of us. And I was like, we've got to go. Like, we all need to go now. And I was trying to be protective of with the people that I was with. And one of my friends, she didn't want to go yet. And I said, no, you either listen to me or you're going to get something attached to you. So we decided to leave. But this is sorry, I'm trying to find the photo so I can show you guys. But this was down again, like I said, we were at the abandoned military base down in the hospital emergency room area. And I started feeling it. And for some odd reason, I was like, I got to take pictures. And so I just did the whole snip, or, push the button, push the button, push the button, just kept one right after the other because I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. So I'm just like, going all the way across. And this, here we go. Let's see if I can do this one here. I actually talked about what I experienced at this hospital and what I caught on my podcast. So if you guys want to check it out, I'm on YouTube. This is kind of, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it. I might have to let me take off my background. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. I might have to whiteboards. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, there we
You can
go.
see if you hold it right there.
Yep. So that's what I caught. and he was down. He was down in the emergency room. So there was graffiti, right? And this is the one we looked at my friend's video, we looked at my video, we looked at pictures, we're zooming in, we're all talking about it, and we're trying to debunk it. None of the graffiti on the wall matched this guy. None of it. We tried our hardest to debunk it.
It's pretty
Because
pretty
I'm all
scary
about
looking.
that. It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
it is.
I felt him follow me outside, and I was like, we need to go. Like, I was ready to go. And because I did not feel good at all. And we got in the truck, we went to a different location on base. We went to the military housing, and we were
Did he
going to
stay
invest.
in the truck or did you
He
leave him
got in
behind?
the truck. He got in the truck.
So he
And
was still with you.
oh yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, Marcus, he's here. He's behind, he's freaking behind me. Like I was getting irritated. I'm like, you ain't coming home with us. No way. And we get out, and I was like, you are not coming home with me. And I did. And I've got Marcus yelling. I've got my friend Joy yelling. And we're like, be gone. You're not following me home. You're not attaching to me. I just showed how angry I was.
Who do you
And then,
invoke? What that's a real good point right there. When you're trying to get rid of something like that, who do you invoke in order to my mother
Hikata,
was who's that?
Hikata.
Okay.
Yeah, in witchcraft, she is our one and only. She's very powerful, and she protects and guides us into the right direction. And so I call on to her for the protection and to help me get that spirit away. But yeah, I definitely felt him in the truck and to the location, the next location. And that's when I was like, no, you're not coming here or coming with me. You know what I mean? That's what I meant to say.
Thank you.
So
Sorry, Steve.
what
I
you
didn't
do
mean to
is
cut you off.
Sorry, I
you,
get
you
all excited when I'm talking about.
what you practice, do you call it white magic or do you have another name for it?
Just practicing witchcraft.
Okay.
I don't, a lot of these people, oh, I'm a green witch. Oh, I'm a kitchen witch. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. I don't like to title myself. I practice old history witchcraft. I like the very old historical, going out in the woods and pulling whatever I need to pull, whatever I'm doing. But I don't do anything for bad intent. It's all about your intent as well. What are your thoughts? Who are you trying to put protection on or trying to? And I also have ways of determining if someone's got a hex on them or a negative spell on them. I've had people reach out and we did a test and she was fine. She didn't have a hex on her like she had thought. So that made her feel better. But and then go ahead.
Oh
Sorry.
no, I'm sorry. No, go ahead and finish up, and then I'll say what I have to say.
And then I have my sister witch. Her name is Stacy Johan. She also has a podcast called Fractured Truth. Her and I have known each other for a couple of years now, and we've bonded so well. She's in Sacramento area up north, and we just bonded so well. She is also a practicing witch. And so I also have been learning a great deal from her because mind you, gentlemen, that for a very long time I suppressed my feelings and wants because of my lifestyle with my family and how I was raised. I was afraid, like I said, I always felt like I was the black sheep of the family. And I know where I wanted to go, but I was too afraid to say anything. But once I got old enough, I was like, F this. I'm going to do what I feel is good for me. And this is what feels good to me. I connect with it. I understand it. And if people don't understand, then you know what, then ask me questions. but don't hate on me. Don't, I just got bullied big time on social media, and I plastered social media with a very professional statement. And these people that used to be on my show, on my podcast, they were my co-hosts. The gentleman got upset with me for it was the most ridiculous reason you can think of. And he plastered on social media how witches are horrible and showed a witch being burned at a stake on a stake. And I'm like, really? You had no problem with me being a witch when you're on the show. But because you had personal problems in your relationship with your wife, and I asked you guys, maybe step away from the show for now, take a break, assess your relationship, because it was starting to affect people on the podcast. And I can't have that. It's my business. And he plastered me. He freaking it was meant. The intent he put was meant for me. And I'm not about that. That's not our values and morals on the podcast, is that we love everyone. It doesn't matter of your beliefs or, whatever religion you are. I don't care. You are a human being with feelings and you have blood just like me. I don't hate, I don't bully, I don't do any of that. We're all here doing the same thing. We're all podcasters. You know what I mean? And I don't know how you guys feel, but I love supporting people. I love being able to hear their experiences and their stories or whatever they feel comfortable sharing. And we're a community. We should all be uplifting each other and supporting each other and not bashing each other, putting each other down. We don't get anywhere in life. We have enough hate in this world. Sorry, I'm kind of going on a rant.
No,
That's
the guy
okay.
was
Not
looking
at all.
for a viral moment, obviously. Sorry, Steve. I think I keep cutting you off.
No, that's all right. Um,
Who's Picata? Tell us more about
Picata?
Picata. Yes, please tell us more about
Picata.
Picata.
She is the goddess of witchcraft. She was very powerful in her time. Sorry, I don't know why this keeps going off. And a lot of people in witchcraft. I mean, the people that are good witches. We reach out to her. She's kind of like, when you I don't know your guys' belief, but and I shouldn't say everybody, let me rephrase that. People believe in God. Okay. God is a powerful person or however you want to look at him, right? Or her. I mean, who's to say it's not a her, right? That's just how I think.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Right,
so
right. Well,
it's
most of the
been,
old religions really had the woman as the matriarch, as the one, the original. So we could talk about that later. Your ancestors just
Mother
had a different
Earth.
skin tone from you, but they definitely had more power. Hathor, Osha, you have your
yeah.
ancestors, so we'll talk about that later. But anyway,
So
Celestial
yeah, she's
bodies.
just that's who I help her. I ask for guidance
yes,
and I ask for protection, but I don't ask, oh, please heal me or please, give me money. No. Yeah, I also have to believe in myself. It's very
yes,
important that we believe in ourselves and how we take care of ourselves. Our body is the shell. And we also need to take care of our hearts and our souls and our brains. There's a lot that we need to take care of. And if we don't take care of ourselves inside, then how can we be there for others? And how can we take care of ourselves if we're not, good here or here?
I
Sorry.
understand.
You said you spoke about and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but that you practiced or you believe in traditional witchcraft, and that's kind of a broad statement. Can a lot of people can interpret that in many ways, but and I don't want you to narrow it down too much, but do you mean like mandrake root? Don't let people connect your hair or your fingernails. If you hear a voice in the woods, don't answer it type thing, or is this
Yeah,
more of the what do they call that? The midwife history of the traditional female healer of the tribe type thing.
the healer of the tribe, but yes, but that's I think the hearing voices out in the woods that's just a common sense thing. People that are especially in the belief of witchcraft or even in the paranormal world, that, know about that kind of stuff. If you're out in the woods and you hear your name being called and you know you're not with anyone else, you do not answer. That is a no-no.
Well, I grew up on the East Coast, and my grandmother was from Georgia. My grandfather's family's been in New Jersey since 1673, so we grew up with the tales of the Jersey Devil and all that. So a lot of spooky stories in those Pine Barrens type thing, you know.
I it's interesting. I just, was it today? Because while I'm working in because I have to go to the Irvine office, I'll put my earbuds in so I can take out the noise from the busy office. And I was watching a documentary on Tubi, and they were talking about the pines and how they get a lot of activity out there.
Oh yeah, there was the whole towns back there, gypsum
Yeah.
mine towns that have been abandoned and you know, uh, forgotten. That people go back there once in a while. You see pictures of them, but I mean, it was always a spooky place, and the soil itself. People don't realize that like the largest source of fresh water on the East Coast is in the Pine Barrens, but it doesn't look like fresh water because it has a brown tint to it because it's actual cedar water. In the 1800s, they thought
Okay.
about creating a canal all the way to New York to bring fresh water from there into New York because the water in New York was so polluted. Um,
Yeah.
but that's also where the Hindenburg crashed, right in the middle of the Pine Barrens, Lakehurst, New Jersey. Um, there's a lot of spooky stuff, and when you're out there in the middle of it, these pine trees that are 100 feet tall are growing
Yeah.
in what looks like beach sand. So it's a
Really
very spooky kind of place.
interesting.
It looks very inhospitable. Like when you go out there, it feels dry, it feels arid, and these pine trees that are literally dripping sap around you in the summertime, and the ground is not brown. It's white beach sand that you're walking in, and these trees don't have very deep roots, so they'll just fall every once in a while. And if the heat gets real bad, they'll actually explode. So it's a very weird, eerie kind of place. And when you're out there in the middle of nowhere, there's all sorts of stories about not just the devil, but the witches, the Pineys, the Jackson Whites,
Oh
things
yeah.
like that. Yeah, creepy place, but beautiful
Yeah.
too at the same time. The wildlife out there is amazing.
Hey,
I
Tigers
would
There are a
and
love
lot
to
of
go
everything.
anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
there
Go
are a
ahead.
lot of traditions of children hearing voices in the woods that sound like their parents, there's all the way back to Sweden, and there's a book out. I can't remember the name of the author called Voices, where he was in modern day. He was playing basketball at his house, and he was very close to
Yeah.
the woods, and he kept hearing this voice that sounded kind of like his father. It said, "Come here, I want to show you something." And he just thought
Wow.
he would talk back, but he wasn't getting an intelligent conversation. So he
Yeah.
resisted going into the woods. But yeah, that's very interesting. I wonder, do you ever get impressions about the future? I mean, do you come in contact with people and see anything like a health issue or something in their future
No.
that comes to you?
That hasn't happened yet. I don't know if it will, but like I said earlier, I am still working on my abilities. I'm not a full-blown medium. I don't claim to be a full-blown medium. I am working with someone. His name's Michael Hanna. He's an amazing guy. He's so kind, so sweet, and he does a lot for the kids that are sick with cancer and stuff. So he'll dress up like a pirate, but he also does a lot of readings. And so I'm learning from him. And because he's been doing the that kind of stuff ever since he was little, he was taught by his grandma. So I've been trying to get, pointers from him, especially trying to control my emotions when I'm starting to see things, when things are coming through. Because some stuff is just, it's upsetting. So,
yeah.
and I have a big heart. So, and when I see a woman being,
Yeah.
it's upsetting. So,
And Steve, you're talking about entities that mimic like
Right.
your mother, your father. In this book, it has
Oh,
all those
that's a
stories.
great book.
Yeah, that's
Great book.
a great book. And also, too, I just want to let you know, Cyndi and Steve, um, I've told Steve 100 times over to stop watching Hocus Pocus because the Sanderson sisters are nothing like, which is like Cyndi. I mean,
No.
Yeah, but that was one hell of a fun movie, I'll tell you.
yeah, start watching Charmed, the Halliwell sisters, and Samantha Stevens on Bewitched. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can you wiggle your nose like that, Cindy? I
I
can wiggle my
tried.
ears, but I can't wiggle my nose.
Yeah. So
But yeah,
what are your guys' beliefs? Are you
I'm a Catholic. So, like, I do. Oh, you're talking about demons. Man, that's all okay. When I had Halo Paranormal Investigations, I've been on 2,500 investigations. Most of
wow.
them were demonic. And I do Roman Catholic house blessings. But
Okay.
if
Okay.
a occupant says, well, I'm a Wiccan, or I'm a Greek Orthodox, or I'm Buddha, well, we had cleansers for each one of those religions. We had something like 14 cleansers. So if they
Wow.
were, Christian or,
Yeah.
Catholic, then I would
Yeah.
do it. And also, too, if a person had a demonic attachment, I would give them a full submersion baptism. And that's a basic form of exorcism. And the entity will leave their body immediately. And I was
That's
very.
Wow.
also Paul's first date move, and it works every time.
Yeah. But yeah, Cindy. So yeah, so we had a whole group. There was something at one point in time. We had like 75 members. So we had a
Wow.
lot. We had a lot of people, and it was.
Yeah.
If you ever watched Mission Impossible, where you
Yeah.
look at the photograph and read their bio, I would select people for every investigation and say, "Oh, okay, he's qualified. He's Greek Orthodox." And the people there are Greek Orthodox. So we would try. We even had a voodoo cleanser. Her mother
Wow.
was from Haiti, and she was a priestess, a high
Yeah.
priestess, and she was a federal agent. And we had 3 voodoo cases, and she did the cleansing.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
great. Yeah, you talked about it. Yeah, very.
That's awesome though. That's awesome that you had that many. That's so
Oh
cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We were dominating northern. Well, even like Ghost Adventures, I gave them 8 cases, so we were dominating Northern California. Zandine joined us at the ass end of it, and so he didn't see all the time when we were very big. We were like an army.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So how did you all meet? Because you guys are all in different states and stuff.
I met Paul on the Mac Maloney's Military X-Files. Paul has been a guest on there. I'm not on
Oh,
there anymore, but I was a regular co-host. So that's how I first met Paul.
and I met Zandine at San Quentin. We were cellmates. I always had the top bunk, and he had the bottom bunk.
Paul,
So
Zandy, you're on
that's
mute.
hilarious.
You're on mute,
I want to know
Zandy.
what you were incarcerated for.
And he remembers it wrong.
No, you don't want to know that.
Okay.
You got it wrong. The Demon Warrior.
Phil, we met on the sanitarium. We were both co-hosts on a podcast called the Sanitarium. Yeah, and
I
then
used to live in,
Zandine.
I was
I
in
met.
Sacramento for like 23 years. So Paul and
Gotcha.
I ran in similar circles, but hadn't met each other until I moved to Florida. Weird enough.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. I love your guys' dynamic.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Cindy, I was going to the graveyards But I wasn't worried about the ghosts. I was worried about going to say like Angels Camp at 3:30 in the morning, and the police coming to see me. So I really had to dance and run fast. So
I bet. Yeah. I was nervous when we went to the military base because you're not supposed to be entering the
exactly,
military base.
yeah.
So we snuck on anyway. So I was just crossing my fingers we wouldn't get caught, which we didn't. But yeah, we had a different whole experience then.
But
They
what
might
about
have
when you're trying to
drafted
do
you.
takes? Takes late at night. Sorry about that, Steve. What were you saying, Steve?
I was saying that they might have drafted her. They were thinking, hey, you make a great soldier.
You never know.
It's awesome.
But yeah, I
But
mean, the graveyards. I mean, trying to get different takes, going to different places. Because I used to always be by myself and trying to get the camera and do things. You know, you go through all that and you go to kind of places. But then I started doing a paranormal show, like a homemade show called Paranormal Soul Brother. But that's how I kind of met Paul. And
Okay.
I would go on investigations. But before that, I mean, I always did it by myself and like UFO hunting, telescopes, different stuff like that. Because my dad was into it since
Okay.
Vietnam. You know, he had
Oh
like some
wow.
near death experiences, and he was always into. But he was also on the practical side because he'd always say, "Well, what makes you think that it's not us?" You know,
Yeah.
it's not all of it. But yeah, it's been a long ride now because I'm a little older than you. I won't say it because I'm an old man. But no, I'm just kidding.
Whatever.
But it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while.
Never be ashamed of your age,
No,
ever.
no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No. People always ask me, but I say I just don't go into a bag. It's like I just whatever the same things I've been into. It's like what I feel like inside. Now, if you ask me how old I am inside, that's a different question.
Gotcha. And how are you inside?
I still feel like I'm still watching the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yes. Yeah, that's my boy right there. That's
yeah,
my boy.
Now, I'm so old, I was watching the Mickey Mouse Club when it was originally on.
Oh my
Ah.
gosh. I
Yep.
actually enjoyed watching the original. I mean, I was born in 71, but when I was old enough to understand cartoons or
Yeah, yeah.
shows, yeah, I remember watching that. I love Disneyland. That's my favorite place to go. It's my happy place. As soon as I go through those gates, I am not 54 anymore. I'm an 8-year-old Cindy. I'm like skipping down. I like to have too much fun.
Yeah,
Cindy,
yeah.
I'm the oldest one here.
I
Wait a minute. Are
wouldn't
you
couldn't
sure
even
about that,
tell.
Phil? How old are you, Phil?
No,
I might
I'm the
have you
oldest.
beat.
He jumped the field, huh?
No,
Paul,
I'm
how
just
old are you?
joshing.
I'm 71.
I got you beat. I'm 73.
What?
Oh,
Are
You're
you
just a young,
serious?
you're just a young, wet behind the ears kid, Paul.
Oh my God. And I told you to stop watching Hocus Pocus. Damn it.
Steve was ghost hunting in the '60s, man. He's seen it
But
all.
oh,
but
hell yeah.
Paul, it has a happy ending.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you talking about Paul's camping techniques or what?
That's
You don't want to go
Oh,
camping with Paul.
no, no. Oh my God. Cindy, you are wonderful. How can people contact you?
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, you ready for this? Okay.
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. If you want to be a guest on Coven of Curiosities, you can reach out to me on Coven of Curiosity pod at gmail.com. You can find me on YouTube at Coven of Curiosity Pod. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I am the only thing I'm not on is X. Don't like that stuff. I also am on many other shows besides my own. I'm also on Haunted and Haunted Case Files, where we talk about true crime or missing people. It's a very good show. I enjoy it. My husband joins in, and then my good friend Joy and her husband Joey. We're quite the what is that, quadruples or whatever you call that? Little minimum of a brain fart. Menopause. It's menopause brain. That's what I'm going to say. Menopause brain. Anyway, but you can also catch me on Grandpa's Old Haint Tales, also on the NCI YouTube channel. We actually tell stories that actually happen out in the Appalachian Mountains or in the surrounding states, true stories. And we scare people, and it's great, and I love it. So
You know,
I even scare myself sometimes reading the stories. So
and Sage,
Appellation.
Cindy, you and me have a lot of the mutual friends.
yeah,
Next week on Tuesday we have Tim Shorts, and then the Tuesday after that we have Sage Gatto, and they're both of your friends on your
yeah,
Facebook. Yeah.
yeah. And then I'm also on Monsters Unleashed on Saturdays. So I'm a very busy woman. And like I said earlier, I'm also finishing up my short story book, starting a comic book, start getting my design line or clothing line, getting it out there. Finally got some merch finally. So I got to get that out there. So yeah, I am oh, and I'm starting a magazine with some of the ladies on the podcast, on my
Nice.
podcast. So we're going to start that. We already have the name and we're putting in the format together, and I'm going to have a column and everything. So I'm going to handle the witchcraft side and the paranormal side of the magazine. So
Wow.
got a
Well,
lot going on.
That sounds
stop being
exciting. That
such a
sounds exciting.
slacker, for crying out loud.
And my husband gets mad. He's like, "Can you stop doing so much work?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I like it."
Well, you can make you can go to Gemini AI Studio and for free and make you a
Yeah,
tool. I mean, front end, like you can make it pretty and make it work. It's not just like it'll look good, but you can put all those facts in and things that you want to keep track,
yeah,
and you can say, hey, look, can you, however you want to automate it, whatever suggestions you
yeah.
want, but it can automate all those departments and keep track of it. I mean, I don't know if you need something like that, but when you said everything that you were doing, I was like, wow. And it also has a social media connect if you want that, where it can go directly to.
Ooh,
So I call it a social hub
nice.
that you can put on it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. And it's called Gemini Studio.
Gemini Studio, Gemini AI Studio. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got it
It'll
down.
ask you what do you want to build. So if you know what you want to build, literally you
Yeah.
can type it in now. You don't have to code it in anymore. You can type it in
Right.
or talk. Yeah,
Awesome. I'll have to check it out.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm on many things. So that's but it's easy to reach out to me. You can find me so easy on Facebook. I'm under Cyndi Sapp or Coven of Curiosity
Cindy
podcast.
Sapp.
Yeah, it's very easy to find me. And then my logo's changed a little bit. I made some adjustments to fit it more for me and my style and how I like things because I love gargoyles. So I had to add gargoyles on each side. They're known to protect, you know.
Have you ever seen a movie called Gargoyles from 1972?
Bernie
Oh yeah,
Casey
that was good. That was
with
I
Bernie
good.
Great
Casey.
don't
flick.
know
Yeah,
if I have it sounds familiar, but I don't know. So it's
yeah,
Gargoyles from 1972.
yeah. It's the
It was
best one. You'll love it.
a
I like.
made-for-TV movie that starred Cornell Wilde, who was a
Okay,
classic actor. And
really?
I've got Phil, I've got the DVD, and when you listen to the commentary with the
Wow.
director, it talks about how small a budget they had, how little
Yeah.
time they had to make it, and the things he had to do to make the
Wow.
gargoyles look realistic because they had the great looking
Or
face, and,
Yeah, they're
and
scary. They're scary.
but the,
when
but
I was
the
like,
but the
yeah,
but they were wearing like wetsuits for
rubber
their
suits.
legs.
Yeah, you could tell
Oh
Yeah.
they're
my
rubber.
So
gosh,
so
that's
so he
hilarious.
had to slow the film down to make it kind of jerky to kind of
That's
take
why.
people away from the fact that
Oh,
That's
they
why
were
okay,
it looks
just
okay.
it looks like some parts are in slow motion. There's
Right, right.
right,
That's
right.
Bernie
but
Casey.
yeah.
It was really good though. He wanted more gargoyles, but they didn't have the budget.
when
But
I, when
they
I was a little kid,
So
I
it's
remember seeing
it's
it and being like so enthralled with this movie,
yeah.
like thinking it was the coolest thing
Yeah,
ever. And then
yeah.
I made the mistake of watching it again last week, and yeah, it was definitely
It
low
it, it
budget.
yeah, it holds
gargoyle.
up pretty
Sorry, and
well
it
for
was
the
gargoyles. What? 19 what?
73.
1972 or 72,
72 or
73.
70.
73?
I
My
thought it was
mother had a
72.
crush. My mother had a crush on the guy who played the actual lead gargoyle. His name was Bernie Casey. He
That's
played in a lot of black
oh
exploitation movies,
right, right.
but that was him in the
But you
costume.
wouldn't recognize him with that gargoyle makeup.
No, you wouldn't. No.
Yeah, it was pretty well done for the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if you
Definitely.
can
I'll
get it
have
on
to check it out.
DVD,
Well,
It's
thank you, gentlemen,
interesting.
so much for having me on. This has been so much fun. You guys are absolute pleasure. And anytime that you guys need a episode showcased, please send it my way and I'll share it.
Awesome.
All
Thank
right.
you, Cyndi. Really appreciate your
Yeah,
time tonight.
absolutely. Yeah, thank
This
you
has been
guys.
fun.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
thank you
it's
so
been great.
much, Cyndi. You're very wonderful. I can't wait to see your comic book and all that.
Oh, I'll be posting it all over the place.
Okay. And if I catch Steve watching Hocus Pocus, I'm going to let you know.
I'm going to get it on DVD and watch it next week. And I'm
Well,
going to
I'll
listen
look
to
for
the
you guys.
commentary.
You guys are all on social media, right? Because I want to connect with
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Facebook,
Facebook?
Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, and Cyndi,
Awesome.
do you like that movie, Hocus Pocus?
No, can't stand it.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
No
but it's
way.
got a happy ending.
Why?
It's annoying. It's so obnoxiously annoying.
And it's got a great black cat in it too. Even though
there
it's
you
a
go.
fake cat, but
I need
It
to
cracks
spill.
me up how people always automatically assume witches wear the hats.
Cyndi, I need a spill to make my cat talk to me. I know you'll come up with it, when you
My cat
do.
talks. I'll bring her on the next.
And a busted van. Go swankers, chasing bad